What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Around the Clock. Today, I'm going to share with you how the Bentley currently sits and what the current plans are for it. Welcome to Around the Clock. My name is John, and my personal goal is to own, experience, and modify as many unique cars as possible. Alright guys, once again, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Around the Clock. For those who are new to the channel, my name is John, and my personal goal is to own, experience, and modify as many unique cars as possible. So if you didn't see the last video, basically I was taking delivery of my 2013 Bentley GT V8. Fast forward, it's been about a month or so now, but what I wanted to do is just kind of give you guys an update on the car, everything that we've done, and kind of what the future plans are. So let's go and jump into it. And there she is, guys. This is the 2013 Bentley GT V8. And as you can tell, she's not stock anymore. So to kind of walk you through what we have done to the car, we'll kind of jump into it. So one of the first things that I did to this car was black out all of the chrome trim. And these cars, Bentleys, tend to have a lot of chrome on them. These, the Rolls-Royce, but I'm not a huge fan of that, especially for the look that I was going for. I didn't want a ton of chrome. And so I took delivery of this car on a Saturday, and it was pretty much stock for a day. And Sunday, I started modifying the car right away. And Sunday, what I had done was blacking out all the trim. So on this particular car, the upper and lower grills were already black, but the outer trim and the centerpiece was chrome. So I had that blacked out. Also, when you come around to the side, right there, this lower piece here, and also this lower piece back here was chrome. Also, all around the window trim was chrome, had that all blacked out. And I think what that did was kind of drew your attention to the wheels. So as you can see, we have mounted the 20-inch Volk TE37'S in blast bronze. And it is a square setup. The fitment or specs is pretty much 20 by 10 plus 15 offset all the way around, wrapped in Michelin Pilot Sport all-season tires. Now, originally I wanted to go with a slightly more stretched tire, but I knew I wanted the Michelin Pilot Sport all seasons. And the thing is it's a very kind of squared off type, I guess. So like if you were to get this size tire, it's a 275/35/20. If you were to get that size tire in any other brand, it would have had more of a slight stretch to it. With the Michelins, they're a little more squared off. So it kind of gives it that meaty look, which I really like. I think it really kind of ties into the front, where I wrapped the daytime running light. So that's pretty much your daytime running light and your turn signal in yellow film. And I think that kind of gives the car a more sporty look. You know, Bentleys are more kind of grand touring cars. They're more known for luxury and just cruising. But this being the V8 model, I think that it kind of ties with the overall look that I was going for with the car. So as you can tell by the wheels, or behind the wheels, I also painted the calipers in red. My buddy Mike and I got a caliper kit from G2 Paint, and basically you brush it on. And I like that because you don't get overspray everywhere, especially with red. I feel like it gets on everything. So we were able to brush it on. I really like the way that it looks. It's very red versus kind of like a very worn black. Next, as we walk around the car, as you can see on the front, we have the full Maxton Design Lip Kit. And that includes a front lip, that includes side skirt extensions, And it also includes this rear diffuser, which I think looks awesome. It looks nice and aggressive. You kind of got like these fins to kind of give it that really aggressive look. Also, when we go around to the back, as you can hear with the exhaust, it does have a slightly deeper tone. This car came factory with the Sport exhaust, which is a $2,400 option. In addition to that, I did a resonator delete just to give it a slightly more aggressive tone. I'm super happy with, the way that turned out. Also, I forgot to mention, around the taillights, there was chrome trim as well. I also had that wrapped in black. And then this lip wing here is also aftermarket, but that was already on the car when I got it. But that is pretty much how it sits now. Also, the last thing I forgot to add, or last things, is we also tinted the windows darker, so it already had 37% window tint on it, which was cool, but it didn't even really look like it was tinted, so I actually had 20% put on top of that. And lastly, you can tell that the car actually sits lower, and it's lowered on ghost lowering links. Now, for those who aren't familiar with lowering links, any car that really has air suspension, you can lower them by replacing the factory fixed ride height sensors with adjustable ones. So on this car, basically it just pops off, and then the new ones just clip right on, and if you want it to go lower, you just kind of adjust the new link and make it shorter. You pop it on, turn the car on, and it'll adjust to the height, and you can still make adjustments as needed or wanted. So that's why I think the beauty of lowering links is, one, it's definitely less expensive than lowering, say, a standard car with either lowering springs or coilovers. For a decent set of coilovers, you're looking at at least, say, $1,500. Lowering springs, they could be $200 to $300, but then you also have to, take the strut off, and then you have to use spring compressors and swap it all out. Versus this, it's just a link that pops on and off. So it only takes maybe about 15-20 minutes to install it, depending on how familiar you are with it. And once you get the factory links off, the new ones pop off easier than the factory ones, just because it has like a split in the center, so this way it can slide on and off pretty easily but still be held tight when it's on there. But the links themselves, I want to say, is around $200, and that's pretty awesome. To lower a Bentley, it's actually cheaper to do it than a Civic, technically. That is pretty much how she sits, guys. I am extremely happy with the way that everything turned out with this car. Modding a Gen 2 Bentley GT and putting TE37s on it is something I've been wanting to do for a couple years, but when I was in the market, either the wheel finish in the specs that I needed wasn't available, or I didn't find the right spec Bentley. And by the right spec Bentley, I didn't necessarily want black, because my first Gen 1 Bentley GT was also black on black with the Mulliner package. That's what this is as well. I actually kind of wanted red or white or something that I thought would look great on bronze, but I ended up going the black route, and I don't regret it, just because I love the body lines on this car, and I think that the black really allows you to kind of see those lines. So that is pretty much how it turned out. From what I understand, this is the only Gen 2 Bentley GT on bronze TE37. I know that Adrian Portelli did black TEs on a black Gen 3 Bentley GT, and then somebody photoshopped a white Gen 3 Bentley GT on bronze TEs, but it wasn't a real one from what I understand. It was Photoshop, but when it comes to Gen 2s, no one else has really done this, which I think is awesome and unique. And now the car community knows what TEs look like on a Gen 2 Bentley GT. So there she is, guys. The car is done. I have no further plans with it. It's something that I've always wanted to do. I really like these cars. They are solid grand touring cars. They are very heavy, but if you're looking for something unique and something that's super comfortable but still has good power, I think the Bentley is definitely something you should consider. As I mentioned, this time around I had the V8 model. My first one was a W12, and the W12 is great, except you really can only feel the power if you have like a long straight line, just because of, you know, the 12-cylinder twin turbo. It takes a while for everything to kind of spool up, but once it starts moving, it pulls pretty hard on the top end. Versus the V8, you have that instant low end torque. As I mentioned, this car does have an APR stage 1 tune, which bumps the power from 500 to around 630 to 650 on 91, and usually we put 93 in the car. So it's a super solid platform. The whole reason I wanted to do it is just to see what it looks like. It had never been really done before, and I wanted to see what I could do with it. So super happy with how it sits. Now, the next part is future plans, right? So as I mentioned before, I don't have any further plans for the car. It's pretty much exactly how I want it to sit. And usually when I'm done modifying stuff, I will throw it out online just to see what kind of offers I get, with the intention to keep it and enjoy it until the right offer comes along. And unexpectedly, I got a ton of interest in the car, and somebody is actually coming today to buy the car. So I had it listed like last week or so, and somebody reached out right away, left me with a deposit on it. And he's actually flying out from North Carolina today to pick up the car. And I'm actually gonna pick him up in this car, so he'll be able to see it for the first time. And then what he's gonna do is just drive it back to North Carolina. So I'm gonna include that in this video just to kind of show you guys. It does kind of stink that the second video that I put out with the Bentley is it being finished, and also the same day that it's being sold and going to its new owner. But the exciting thing is I'm going back to what I love. And if you guys know me and you've seen the channel, I only have so many videos, you guys know what I really like. So I will tell you that, you know, I just got back from my in-laws' beach house in LBI. While we were out there, we did go and look at a car, and we actually left a deposit on it. So once this car is gone, I'm gonna be picking up the new car, and I have a ton of plans for that, and it's gonna be super cool, super unique, something a little bit different that you don't see all the time. I can't say that it's never been done before, but I do think that it'll be definitely unique. So that's pretty much it for the car. So now let's go ahead and jump in, and we will go pick up the new owner from the airport. Almost to BWI, he just landed, so super excited to you know, get his first reaction when he sees the car, and he's gonna get to drive it back home. He's actually gonna drop me off at my house first, but then he's gonna drive it back to his home in North Carolina. So I wasn't able to get footage of him seeing the car for the first time. The airport was pretty busy, and then when he came around the corner, I just wasn't prepared to take video. But obviously he picked up the car. I did get a picture of him with the car after he brought me to the house. Basically, I picked him up from the airport, he jumped in the driver's seat and drove me back home, and then from there started to head back to his home in North Carolina. Super glad that the car went to him. It's a very niche car. Bentleys aren't really something that people modify, and from talking to him, I can tell that he was pretty knowledgeable with them. He does paint and body work. He knows how to work on them mechanically, so he's the perfect person to own that type of car. So super excited for him, just looking forward to see what he ends up doing with it. But I'm more excited to pick up the next car. So the next video, I'm gonna try to do a vlog and basically take you guys with me to go pick up the next project, which I'm super excited for. It's something that I've always wanted, and I have some pretty cool plans for it that's gonna definitely make it stand out. So until the next video, I'll catch you next time.